Con phơ mới.
Ta là máy giặt, muốn giặt phải xoắn thì phải nhăn.
Sao nhăn được? Khi đã có comfort chống nhăn. Với công thức dưỡng vải chống nhăn cho áo quần giặt máy. Comfort chống nhăn, thách thức xoắn, quyết không nhăn.
Last Mall sale chính hãng giữa tháng. Hàng ngàn thương hiệu chính hãng. Giảm đến 50%. Miễn phí giao hàng không đồng. Last Mall sale chính hãng giữa tháng. Mua ngay.
Hello, my name is Maddie from POC English, and in this lesson, let's improve your vocabulary by learning 10 phrasal verbs that you can use to talk about traveling. The first phrasal verb that we are going to learn together is see somebody off. See somebody off. What does it mean? It means to go to an airport or to go to a station to say goodbye to somebody who's traveling, who's going on a trip. Now imagine your friend is going to immigrate, is going to travel overseas, to go to another country. What would you do? Well, if you have time and if you're a good friend, you would see them off. It means you would go to the airport with them and you would say goodbye. See somebody off. Oh, look at this example. They have gone to the airport to see their son off. They have gone to the airport to see their son off. It means the parents, mother and father, have gone to the airport. They are at the airport now. Why? To say goodbye to their son, who probably is going to another country. Goodbye. See somebody off.
He's got to see me off.
See you off.
He's got to see me off.
See you off.
I'll see you off. I'll see you off.
Came to see us off. Wait. Came to see us off. Wait.
The second phrasal verb is to set off. What does it mean? It's another way of saying to start, to begin the journey. Set off. For example, we set off for Paris at night. We set off for Paris at night. It means we started our journey, we began our trip at night to go to Paris. And remember, we have set off for a place. Set off for Paris. Set off for New York.
3 wise men set off again on their journey. 3 wise men set off again on their journey.
The next phrasal verb is about means of transport. Now, plane, train, bus. What do you do when you are at the bus station and the bus arrives? You get on the bus. To get on the bus means to enter the bus. Now you can use this phrasal verb to talk about planes. Get on the plane. To talk about trains. Get on the train. So for public means of transport, plane, train, and bus, we say get on. Now, for plane, you can also say board. To board the plane or to get on the plane. What about for cars and taxis? Well, we say get in. So you get in the car, you get in the taxi, but you get on the bus. Get on the plane. Get on the train. Look at this example. We got on the wrong bus. We got on the wrong bus.
Get on that train.
Get on the plane.
Please get on the bus. Please get on the bus.
Number 5, to take off. Well, one of the meanings of take off is for your clothes. When you take them off, it's really hot. I have to take off this sweater. Take off. But when it comes to traveling, take off can be used for an airplane that is leaving the airport. Right? So at what time is the plane taking off? Well, the plane is taking off at around midnight. Take off for a plane means to leave.
Trumpet, I rearranged the letters right before the plane took off. Trumpet, I rearranged the letters right before the plane took off.
It's only an hour before the plane takes off. It's only an hour before the plane takes off.
Okay, now you get on the plane takes off, and then the plane lands. What would you do now? Well, you want to get off the plane. Get off the plane means to exit, means to go out. Get off the plane. It can also be used for bus and train. Get off the bus. Get off the train. Get off the plane. We got off the plane at around 11. It means we left the plane. We exited the plane at around 11.
Get off my plane! Get off my plane!
Get off the bus.
You never get off this train.
Now, you've gotten off the plane and you are at the airport. Maybe someone is there for you. Maybe someone's standing there to pick you up. Pick somebody up. What does it mean? It means to let somebody get into your car and then you take them somewhere that they want to go. For example, the hotel shuttle will pick you up after you get off the plane. The hotel shuttle will pick you up after you get off the plane. It means the shuttle is waiting for you. You will enter the shuttle and the shuttle will take you to our hotel.
Pick me up at 7:30. Pick me up at 7:30.
Pick me up at 7 on Saturday. Pick me up at 7 on Saturday.
Now the driver has picked you up. And now the destination is the hotel. What happens when the car arrives at the hotel? Well, the driver will drop you off at the hotel. Drop off. What does it mean? It means to take somebody to a place and then let them be there. So the driver picks you up, takes you to the hotel, and drops you off. It means leaves you at the hotel. Look at the example. The shuttle will drop us off exactly in front of the hotel. The shuttle will drop us off exactly in front of the hotel.
Could you drop me off at school? Could you drop me off at school?
Okay, so I'll drop you off at work. Okay, so I'll drop you off at work.
Now, the driver has dropped you off in front of the hotel. What do you want to do now? You want to walk inside and then you will see the front desk and the front desk clerk. What would you do? You would give your identity documents and you would ask for a room for a few nights. This is called to check in at a hotel. To check in at a hotel means to give your identity documents, to take the keys, and to go to your room. Check in. Look at the example. When you want to check in at a hotel, you need to show your ID card. When you want to check in at a hotel, you need to show your ID card.
I'll check into a hotel. I'll check into a hotel.
Okay, I'm gonna check in at the hotel. Okay, I'm gonna check in at the hotel.
All right, now it's over. You've stayed in the hotel for a few nights. And now, end of trip. What do you want to do? Well, you want to go home, but before that, you want to take your ID document from the hotel and give the keys back to the front desk clerk. This is called to check out. To check out means to leave the hotel, to put the keys back where they were, to get your ID card and ID documents, and then to go. To check out. Look at the example. The checkout was at 12, but we left at 11. The checkout was at 12, but we left at 11. It means at 12 we had to give up the room, but we left 1 hour earlier. We left at 11. And the last phrasal verb that we want to learn together, before I tell you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click subscribe if you're new to my channel. Now, let's get back to the last phrasal verb. Sometimes you feel that you really need to get away from whatever you're doing in your life for a few days. You would love to get away. What does it mean to get away? To get away means to take a vacation, to take a holiday, to go on a trip, to leave everything behind you, to get away. Oh my God, my life is very, very hectic. I'm very busy these days, but I'm tired. I just want to get away for a few days. Christmas is ahead of us. I would love to get away for a few days.
Figure we get away for a few days. Figure we get away for a few days.
So that is it, guys. We've learned 10 phrasal verbs and now it's a story time. I'm going to read a story that I have written for you using all the 10 phrasal verbs. Let's see how I have used these phrasal verbs in the story. Last Christmas, I really wanted to get away for a few days. I really wanted to get away for a few days. My girlfriend and I packed and got ready to set off for the beautiful city of Rome. We went to the airport and our parents saw us off. We got on the plane. The plane took off with 2 hours of delay, but we were excited. When we got off the plane, the hotel shuttle picked us up and after an hour of driving, dropped us off in front of the hotel. We then checked in and had 5 memorable days and nights in the magnificent city of Rome. Finally, we checked out and went to the airport to go back home. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. As always, don't forget to let me know in the comments what videos and what contents you are more interested in so that I can videos for you. See you in the next lessons.
Thật là sung sướng khi được sống nơi đây.
Mỗi ngày tắm mát xong rồi ngâm cỏ cây.
Ăn uống no say.
Massage hông.
Tới ngày đây. Ôi hạnh phúc quá. Vinamilk, Vinamilk. La thích mê. La quá vui. Cô bò hạnh phúc đong đầy dòng sữa tươi ngon. Vinamilk sữa tươi. Vinamilk sữa ngon. Cô bò hạnh phúc.
Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Are you hungry? I hope so. Let's talk about it. Do you like to cook meals at home non-stop, then doing the dishes and then preparing what you're gonna make for the next meal all the time? Probably not. Sometimes it's nice to go to a restaurant, but nowadays things have changed a bit. Here in the US, restaurants are slowly starting to open, but not everyone feels comfortable going to a restaurant. For me, I have 2 young children, so even without the current situation, it's still a little bit complicated to go into a restaurant. But we don't always want to cook. Sometimes it's nice to eat restaurant food. So what we can do is order food on the phone, pick up the food, and take it home to eat. Or sometimes we take it to a park to eat. And that is what I would like to do today with you. I'd like to invite you to join me as I order food on the phone and pick it up. This is a very natural daily life situation. You are gonna hear a fast conversation that I have on the phone with the woman who's working at the restaurant. But after each short clip from the conversation, I'm going to be explaining to you the phrases we used, the different expressions, so that you can use this as well. Because sometimes talking on the phone is tough. You can't see the other person, but also there's a lot of background noise. Sometimes the restaurant is loud. The person on the phone is just speaking quickly. They're not thinking about your perspective. So today I want to break down this conversation and help you to tackle this seemingly tough situation, but after this conversation, I hope it will be more doable and approachable. We're going to be watching each of the clips from the conversation one time, then I'm going to explain it, and then you'll watch it again after my explanation. I hope that the second time will be more understandable to you, your listening skills will have improved, your grammar and vocabulary will have improved. So, put your helmet on, put your seatbelt on. This is going to be a fast ride, but you can do it. All right, let's get started with my clip. We just got back from a hike and I'm so hungry. But we really don't have much food in our fridge, so we decided to order out, and I thought I would invite you to join me in the process of ordering food out at a restaurant to go pick up. So let's see what happens. Hi, I'd like to make an order for pickup. This was a pretty fast start, wasn't it? Well, in this first clip, I introduced what I wanted to do very clearly and directly. I said, I would like to make an order for pickup. For pickup means that I'm gonna be the one getting the food. But we could switch that out and say, I would like to make an order for delivery. And that means that that restaurant will bring the food to your house. Now, this is typically in the US only available for big restaurants, like chain restaurants. The restaurant that I'm ordering from, there's only one of them near my house. It's not an international or even a national or even a citywide restaurant. There's only one of them, so they don't have a delivery service. So that's why I said for pickup, and I used the verb would. I would like, very polite. I would like to make an order for pickup. All right, we're gonna listen to that clip one more time. I hope that you'll be able to understand a little bit more. I know it starts off with a bang, but I hope you'll be able to understand a little bit more. We're gonna listen to that first part of the clip, and then you're gonna watch the second part of the clip as well that I'll explain in just a minute. Let's go.
Cafe, this is Mackenzie. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to make an order for pickup.
Yeah, definitely. What can I get for you?
Yes, I'd like to get the duck spring rolls.
Alright.
Also a big Greek salad.
Alright.
You heard, what can I get for you? She said, what can I get for you? This is a common restaurant expression when you're ordering on the phone. She wants to know, what are you gonna order? This is similar to the phrase, how can I help you? But usually we hear, what can I get for you at a restaurant? And how can I help you in a retail store where you're gonna buy clothes or buy a phone or something like this. Notice that in my answer, I used the word the before my order. This is extremely common in a restaurant. I said the duck spring rolls. I'd like to order the duck spring rolls. I'm talking about a specific item on the menu. So you might say, as you're looking at the menu, even in a fast food restaurant, you might say, oh, I'd like to order the number 5 pork dumplings. Okay, you're talking about that specific item, the number 5. All right, now we're gonna listen to that clip one more time. Listen for what can I get for you? And my answer, the duck spring rolls. After we listen to that clip, we're gonna immediately listen to the next clip. So get ready, let's listen.
Yeah, definitely. What can I get for you?
Yes, I'd like to get the duck spring rolls.
Alright.
Also a big Greek salad.
Alright.
Also Enter the Dragon.
And how did you want that cooked?
What do you recommend?
We recommend medium rare to rare.
Okay, how about medium rare?
Alrighty.
There is
Bộ sữa chua men sống, bổ sung lợi khuẩn, tăng cường đề kháng. Sữa chua TH True Yogurt, mua 8 tặng 1. Mưa cũng lo, nắng cũng lo, ở nhà cũng lo, đến trường cũng lo. Với 100% sữa non.
There's a lot happening in this short clip. I ordered a tuna dish, and this dish just has a fancy name, Enter the Dragon, on their menu. She asked me an important question. She said, how did you want that cooked? Notice that she uses the past tense. How did you want that cooked? And you can use this equally the same amount as how do you want that cooked? She could have asked me either question and they both would have been equally fine. How did you want that cooked? How do you want that cooked? Sometimes we use these kind of flexible tenses to be more polite in these restaurant situations. Unless you are working in a restaurant, maybe you are, you don't need to worry about the tense. It's more important to understand the context and how to answer, but you might hear people say this, how did you want that cooked? Or how do you want that cooked? She's asking about how done or how cooked I want my tuna. This is often asked for fish like tuna, salmon, and sometimes for hamburgers or steak, which you'll see in just a minute. There are different levels of doneness. This is what we call it, doneness, how much you would like it cooked. There is rare, which is basically raw, very red in the middle. Then we have medium rare, pretty red still. Then we have medium, a little pink in the middle. Then we have medium well, just a small amount of pink. And then well done or well, and this is no pink in the middle. This is completely cooked. Usually this is not recommended for these types of meats, so what I like to do is what you just saw. I like to ask the restaurant what they recommend. You're welcome to do this too. This is very common in a restaurant. I want to know what the chef or what the restaurant thinks is the best amount of doneness for the meat. I don't want it overcooked. I don't want it undercooked. I want them to make the best decision here. Of course, if you have some special diet needs, then you can say what you want and it's not going to offend the restaurant. If they say, we recommend medium, and you say, oh, no, I don't want any red, I want it to be well done, that's fine. They'll do what you want. The customer is always right. But for me, I like to ask what they recommend. You also heard me say this phrase, how about medium rare? How about? Why did I say this? Usually we use how about to give a polite suggestion to other people. For example, you might say to your friends, how about we go to the beach this afternoon? And you're just giving a suggestion. You're not saying, we have to go to the beach. You're just giving a suggestion. Does it seem a little bit strange that the customer would give a suggestion to the restaurant? Because they will do whatever I want. I'm the customer. This is very normal. Why do I need to give a suggestion? Well, I'm just being polite. This is a common phrase that we use when we're in these type of restaurant or store situations. Let's imagine that you're trying on a shirt in a store and you like the shirt, but you don't exactly like the color. So the employee comes to you and says, can I get that for you in a different color? You might say, yeah, how about red? You're suggesting, I would like to try this shirt, but in a different color. You might say, yeah, how about red? Or you could also say, do you have red? I'd like to try red. But we often use this lovely expression, how about? How about medium rare? How about red? Great. All right. Let's watch that clip one more time. I want you to listen carefully for how she asked me about how I want it cooked, how I answered, how I said, how about? And then we're going to go on to the next clip where I'm also going to continue my order. Listen carefully. Also, enter the dragon.
And how did you want that cooked?
What do you recommend?
We recommend medium rare to rare.
Okay, how about medium rare?
Alrighty.
And finally, the Gustavo's Gourmet Hamburger Steak.
Alright, wonderful. And how would you like that cooked?
What do you think? You think medium well is normal for that?
Most people go for medium on that one.
Okay, let's just do medium then. All right, in this clip, I finished ordering all of the food that I was going to get because you'll see later, I have a gift certificate, so I decided to order a lot of food because I wouldn't really need to pay for it. But did you notice in this clip, if you did not, when we watch it again, please try to notice, I said the in front of my order. The Gustavo's Hamburger Steak. The, because I'm talking about a specific item on their menu. When I asked her about what is normal for the doneness of the hamburger steak, she said most people go for medium on that one. Do you know this phrasal verb, to go for? Most people go for medium on this one. It is extremely common to use this phrasal verb in restaurants. When you are ordering something, you might say, all right, I'm gonna go for the tuna and the steak. I'm gonna go for the salad. I'm gonna go for, this just means to choose. I'm gonna choose that one, but we use this phrasal verb a lot when we're ordering in a restaurant. All right, let's watch that clip again and go on to the next clip. Listen carefully. And finally, the Gustavo's Gourmet Hamburger Steak.
Alright, wonderful. And how would you like that cooked?
What do you think? You think medium well is normal for that?
Most people go for medium on that one.
Okay, let's just do medium then.
Alrighty. And anything else for you?
That's all.
Alright, so I've got the duck spring rolls, the large Greek salad, the tuna cooked medium rare, and then the Gustavo cooked medium.
Yes, that's it. Here she is repeating my order to make sure that I got everything correct. I think this is a common practice around the world in restaurants. Seems like a good idea, right? But I used two phrases with the word that's. They are slightly different, so I want to help you understand them and also use them because we use them all the time, like a lot of expressions from this video. So when she asks, anything else for you? She's wanting to know, are you going to order anything else? Anything else for you? And I said, that's all. That's all means I'm finished. There is no more. This is the end. That's all. It's not rude to say. It is extremely helpful, in fact, to say, anything else I can get for you? Nope, that's all. Thank you. After she listed all of the things that I ordered, I said, that's it. That's it. Yes, that's it. How is this different from that's all? Well, here I'm telling her, you got it correct. That's it. This is common in other situations too, not just restaurants. This is very useful for you as an English learner if you're having a conversation and you forget a word, which happens to us all, even for native English speakers, this happens too. You might be talking about an experience you had driving. I was driving down the street and then a dog ran into the road and I didn't want to hit the dog, so I turned my car and I ran into what's that word? The thing on the side of the road. It goes down, rain is in it sometimes, and your friend might say, a ditch. You ran into a ditch. And here you can use our key expression. You can say, that's it. Yes, I ran into a ditch. You're letting that person know with enthusiasm that they got it correct. That was the word that you were thinking of. So here I used that's it to tell her, you got my order correct. Yep, that's it. Or you could tell your friend, that's it. You understood the word that I was trying to say. All right, let's go back and watch this clip and then go on to the next clip.
Trở lại đi làm hứng khởi. Chọn La Vie nhé. La Vie tặng 6 chai mỗi thùng.
Nutifood yêu Việt Nam, chung sức cùng mẹ, đủ sữa cho con.
Alrighty, and anything else for you?
That's all.
Alright, so I've got the duck spring rolls, the large Greek salad, the tuna cooked medium rare, and then the Gustavo cooked medium.
Yes, that's it.
Alright, perfect. We'll have this ready to take out probably in about 15 minutes. Is that okay?
Yes, I have a quick question though. I was given a gift certificate to Stony Knob. When I pay, should I just bring that with me or what should I do? Because I don't order pickup very often, I wasn't sure what this restaurant wanted to do. I didn't know if they wanted me to pay over the phone. Sometimes they'll ask for your card number over the phone, or if they wanted me to just pay when I went to the restaurant. So that's why I asked. And because I had a gift certificate, I wasn't sure what their process was. So I simply asked them, what should I do? And this is good news for you because maybe there's multiple cultural practices that you're not sure about. It is no problem to ask. I asked, you saw me ask, I didn't know what to do. This is my home country. I feel familiar with a lot of the customs, but there's still things that I don't know too, and I want to make sure that I'm being polite to that restaurant. So I just asked, what should I do? And I also, because it's a gift certificate, I wanted them to be aware of this in case there were any little rules about the gift certificate. Sometimes gift certificates or gift cards have rules like you need to go into the store to pay, or you need to spend this much money to use it. So I just wanted them to be aware so that there were no surprises when I went to pick up my food. All right, let's watch this clip and then go on to our next one.
All right, perfect. We'll have this ready to take out probably in about 15 minutes. Is that okay?
Yes, I have a quick question though. I was given a gift certificate to Stony Knob. When I pay, should I just bring that with me or what should I do?
Yeah, just bring it with you, and we can just take it from you. You can either come in and pay with it, or we can just take it from you in the car and do it inside.
Okay.
So either way, yeah, but just bring it with you.
In this clip, she's giving me two options. One option is I can go into the restaurant and pay for the food when I arrive, or they will come to my car, take my payment, go in, make the payment, and bring it back to me. There are two options. She uses a lovely expression here. She says, either way. You can use this in so many situations in daily life. If you and your friend are gonna drive to the beach and you're not sure whose car you're gonna take, you might say, well, should you drive or should I? And your friend might say, I don't know, either way is fine with me. Or if your friend says, well, do you want to cook tonight or do you want to go to a restaurant? You might say, either way is fine with me. Either way. Both of these are okay with you. Either way. All right, let's go and watch this clip again and then go on to our next one.
Yeah, just bring it with you, and we can just take it from you. You can either come in to pay with it, or we can just take it from you in the car and do it inside.
Okay.
So either way, yeah, but just bring it with you.
Okay, I should just give you a call when I get there?
Yes, ma'am, that would be great.
I live in the south of the US, and it is quite common to use the term ma'am, even though I'm probably not that much older than she is. I'm not her mother or her grandmother, but it's still polite in the South to say ma'am. So if someone asks me a question, I might say, oh, yes, ma'am, that's right. If I'm talking on the phone to my bank, or even if I go into a restaurant, I might say that, or into the bank. This is polite, but it is not necessary. If you say this in the North, or in the West, or in the Midwest of the US, I don't think this is as common, but in the South of the US, when you say ma'am, this is only for women, just to let you know. When you say ma'am to a woman or yes sir to a man, their eyes get all sparkly and lit up because you're being so polite. And in Southern culture where I live, this is kind of what children are taught. They're taught that when you say yes ma'am, yes sir, you're being polite to older people. But even in restaurant situations when there's not a big age difference, this is still a polite situation with a store and a customer, so you're going to hear those expressions if you visit the south of the US. Please don't feel like you need to use ma'am when you're talking with people on a daily basis, but I just wanted you to know why she said ma'am to me on the phone. All right, let's watch that clip one more time and then go on to our next one. Okay, I should just give you a call when I get there?
Yes, ma'am, that would be great.
All right.
And let me see, what's the name for your order?
Vanessa?
And a phone number?
It's 412. Did you hear that question she asked? What's the name for the order? Why didn't she ask me, what's your name? She wants to know who can they write on the receipt or on the ticket so they can deliver it to the right person in their car. But why didn't she ask me, what's your name? She could have said that, and you might hear that sometimes for pickup orders, but it's a little bit more common to hear what's the name for the order because maybe I'm not going to be the person who picks up the order. Maybe it's going to be someone else. Maybe I'm making an order for someone else. For some reason, this expression is just more common in restaurant situations when you're making an order. What's the name for the order? It feels a little more indirect too, not too personal, like, what's your name? I want to be your friend. It's a little more separated, so you feel like it's a professional situation. They're only asking for a business reason, not for a personal reason. What's the name for the order? And I just told her my name. Okay, let's watch that little clip again, and then we will finish this first conversation in the next clip. All right, take a deep breath. Let's watch.
Let me see, what's the name for your order?
Vanessa?
And a phone number?
It's 412.
All right, and if you don't mind just giving us a call when you pull in, we'll bring it out to you and get the gift card and all that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
She uses another polite expression here. If you don't mind, just give us a call when you pull in. This phrase, if you don't mind, is lovely to use in business situations or just any time that you want to be polite. You might ask your coworker, if you don't mind, can you send me an email when you're all done? If you don't mind. Or maybe my husband already has a long list of things that he's going to make at the grocery store or things he's going to buy at the grocery store. And as he's leaving the door, I might say, oh wait, if you don't mind, can you pick up another bag of apples? This is maybe a little bit inconvenient for him because he already has a list, he's about to leave. So I just want to use this polite expression. You don't always need to use it, but there are many situations when you can, just to be polite. Did you recognize that she used a phrasal verb at the end of her question? To pull in. Do you know what that means? Just give us a call when you pull in. This is talking about my car arriving to the parking lot. That means that I have arrived at the restaurant. You might use this phrasal verb to text your friend or to call your friend when you are meeting her at a store, for example. You might say, hey, I'll be in a minute. I just pulled in. That means that your car just arrived in the parking lot. This is especially if you're driving. If you're taking the bus, you might say, yeah, the bus just pulled in. I'll be there in just a second. But we use it more often for when we're driving. I just pulled in. I'll be inside in a minute. All right, we have successfully made an order on the phone, but we need to pick it up. So there's a couple more clips that I'd like to show you so that you can successfully pick up food in English. Let's watch that first clip.
Ở nhà cũng lo, đến trường cũng lo. Nutifood Pro Plus sữa non mới, nhân đôi đề kháng, bé khỏe mẹ vui.
Hey, so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was coming to pick up a pickup order.
Okay, what was the name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa, okay, I'll go see if that's right.
Thank you. I used the phrase, I was coming to pick up a pickup order. You see how I used this as a verb, to pick up, and then also as a noun, a pickup order. It's the same idea here. But I used an interesting verb tense. I said, I was coming. Do you notice how this is the past? We saw this earlier as well, that we sometimes are a little bit more fluid in tenses when we're being extra polite, but it is no problem to say, I'm picking up a pickup order in the present tense. I am picking up an order, or I'm here to pick up a pickup order. No problem. There's a couple different expressions we can use, and that's just the one that I chose. I'm not sure if it's the same for your country nowadays, but in the US, we are still required or suggested to wear a mask in face-to-face conversations that are close together, especially in these kind of public situations like restaurants and stores, these types of things. So for her, she probably a little bit uncomfortable. She needs to wear her mask during her whole work day. But for me, only when I'm interacting with the customer is this type of thing, or with the employee is this type of thing necessary. I'm curious what it's like in your country right now. Let me know in the comments what that's like. All right, let's watch that clip one more time. I want you to listen carefully for my wonderful phrase, and then we're gonna watch the next clip. Hey, so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was coming to pick up a pickup order.
Okay, what was the name?
Vanessa.
Vanessa, okay, I'll go see if that's right.
Thank you.
It's gonna be 6527.
Okay, I have it's a gift certificate.
Okay.
So someone gave me in my card.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thanks so much. Did you notice that she told me the total for my order, but she didn't use the word dollar? She said, that's going to be $65.27. This is a lot more than I normally spend at a restaurant, maybe double the amount that I normally spend, but I had a gift certificate, so I felt like it was okay to splurge a bit. Usually eating out at a local restaurant is not that expensive, at least in my city. If you come to visit a small town in the US, don't worry, it's usually not that expensive. But I thought that it would be a fun time to splurge a bit. So I want you to know that when she was telling me the amount of money, she didn't say dollars, she only said the number, $65.27. If you'd like to practice some big numbers in English, like hotel numbers, phone numbers, dates, these types of things, I made a whole video just specifically for how to say big numbers in English. It can be a little bit complex. We have a lot of different expressions for this, so you can check out that lesson up here if you want to dive deeper into it. All right, let's watch that clip one more time and then go on to the next one.
It's gonna be 6527.
Okay, I have it's a gift certificate.
Okay.
So someone gave me in my card.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thanks so much.
All right, and if you could sign these for us.
So much. Do you guys have a lot of people come in to do pickup like this?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you know why I asked her, do you have people coming in for pickup orders like this often? Why did I ask her that? It's not necessary, but sometimes I kind of like to have a little small talk at a grocery store or at a restaurant because I'm curious about what their experience is like. So if I'm at the grocery store, I might ask, have you guys been really busy today? Or just some kind of question to ask about them. Maybe it's not appreciated by them. Maybe it is, I don't know, but it's just something interesting for me. But I want to talk about one expression that we used here so that you can use it too. She said, if you could sign these for us, if you could. This is extremely polite. We often use the full expression, if you could sign these for us, it would be great. It would be great is used at the end. Make sure that you use would. It would be great. This is using a if type of sentence. If you could sign these, that would be great. But she cut off that end part. It is implied or understood. I knew what she meant. That's perfectly fine. It's very normal to do that. But at the beginning, she's asking me to do something. Do you know what she's asking me to sign? This is the receipt. She's asking me to sign it because I used my debit card, but also I needed to write a tip on the receipt. And there's a spot on the receipt. It says the total. And then underneath that, there's a line that says tip. And then beyond that, it says total. So you have to do a little math. But usually in the US, it is common, even for pickup orders where there's not a normal server, to give 20% for a tip. So the easiest way to do this is to take the first number, so for in my case, that's 6, and to double it, which is 12. And because it was 65, I could add an extra dollar. So I could give her a $13 tip, or you can give more if you want to be extra generous. Or if the service is not too good, you can give less, but 20% is expected. This is a kind of an annoying custom in the US because all of a sudden your bill gets a lot higher, but it is necessary and it's pretty rude, extremely rude, if you don't give a tip. In fact, for this server, my tip is the only money that she's going to make. The restaurant doesn't really pay her. I think they pay her like $2 an hour. It just covers some basic fees, but it doesn't really go to her, kind of tax money. But my money, your tip money, is the money, the only salary that the server will make. This is very different from other countries. So keep this in mind as you are tipping your server. For me, I've been a server for a part-time job many times in high school and in college, so I know that tips are very important for servers, and if I can be extra generous for a tip, I always try to do this. It's just something that's appreciated. So I wrote the tip amount, then I did some math to see how much it would cost in total, and I gave it back to her. A quick note about a gift certificate. If you have a gift certificate or a gift card, for me, my total was $67 and I had a $50 gift card, but I gave a 20% tip based on the total amount, not based on the amount that I paid. So I gave a 20% tip from $67, not from the amount that I paid. This is important because there's some complicated stuff that goes on in the restaurant where you should, in the end, you should give 20% tip based on the total amount, even if you have a gift card, even if you have a coupon, gift certificate, any of this, based on the total amount. All right, let's go on to our final clip. We're gonna watch that clip one more time, then go on to our final clip. Take a deep breath. Let's watch.
So much. Do you guys have a lot of people come in to do pickup like this? Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. And I don't need that back. Can I just give that to you guys? Yeah. Oh. Right. And sorry. Thanks so much. Thank you.
In this clip, she said, "Here you are." Is she saying, I am in the car? Here you are in the car. No. Instead, this is common when you hand someone something from a store, from a restaurant, these type of situations. She could also have said, here you go. They both mean exactly the same thing. Here you go. Here you are. If you go to a store and the cashier gives you a bag that has your dress that you just purchased in it, the cashier might say, here you go, have a nice day. They're just handing you the bag. That's a common expression for giving someone something. Here you go, here you are. All right, let's watch that clip one final time. Are you ready? Let's do it.
And I don't need that back. Can I just give that to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Sorry. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining me as I ordered food on the phone and picked it up. I hope that you learned a lot of useful daily expressions in this lesson. And now I have a question for you. In the comments, let me know, how often do you eat in a restaurant? Or you can use the phrasal verb, how often do you eat out? Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for learning English with me. I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye! And now my family is enjoying our food as a little picnic on our back deck. It was so nice to not cook, to not clean up dishes, and to just be able to enjoy this special meal as a family. The next step is to download my free ebook, 5 Steps to Becoming a Confident English Speaker. You'll learn what you need to do to speak confidently.
Bữa sáng đủ chất cùng sữa bột ngũ cốc cô gái Hà Lan mới. Từ sữa, ngũ cốc và trứng. Thử ngay!
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're gonna tour a real American country house, and you're gonna see how typical Americans live across this huge country. I drove 3 hours away from San Francisco specifically to show you this house. Let's see it.
Back to San Francisco. Our minds may change.
When I sit on this terrace, I imagine that I'm in one of these Hollywood movies about America where you see people just sitting on their terraces all day, talking to their neighbors and watching people pass by. This is so typical. Look at these wheels. When I look at them, I think that I'm in cowboy times, like maybe 800 something. The first thought that came to my mind when I saw this house was like, oh my god, Westworld. Have you guys seen this TV show? They stage the time that is something similar to the time where this house is from. And now let's go inside and check the house itself. The house starts with a living room and the kitchen. This is so 60s. Like the minute when I walked here, I'm like, oh my god, Mad Men. I'm like thinking TV shows all the time. And when I look at the place, I'm like, definitely Mad Men. Look at that. Everything is from 50s, 60s, and I love this feeling. And this weekend is our retreat after a crazy week, and we're here together with Vlad. Just graduated from Harvard, he's done his MBA there, and we've done a couple of videos together. Let's see the backyard because it's a little weird, but you're gonna see. In the backyard, we have Alexander, who's also Russian.
Hello, guys.
He's one of the best camera people in San Francisco. He does a lot of videos, like promo videos for startups and big companies that are located in Silicon Valley. Yesterday, we come to this place, I'm like, oh, so we're gonna relax, it's gonna be beautiful. I look out of the window of my bedroom, and I'm like, what's there in the backyard? And I couldn't figure it out because it was too dark, but then I noticed flowers and I'm like, oh, symmetry. What a weekend. I don't know what's your opinion on that, like write that down in comments below. I'm totally okay with that because it's better than a neighbor who's screaming and shouting all the time. If you guys think that this is an entrance to the room, no, this is a wardrobe. We're just thinking of making something creative for the video. Wow. I think it's a kid's room. But the thing that you need to pay attention to, if you're not American, especially, like Americans, you would be surprised, we don't do that in Russian. This is a typically American thing to have at least 5 pillows on the bed. I personally love it, and I've done the same thing in my room in St. Petersburg. But basically what you have, these are for decoration and you remove them before you go to bed and you sleep on these two. I love how they made this room because it's a small room, but with all the details, like everything is really light, so it adds space, and everything is super nice, so you're like in a doll's room. It gives this room a really at-home feeling. I personally love it. Let me know, guys, if you have this pillow set up in your country, because I first saw it when I came to the UK, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to do the same. And basically the purpose of this video is not only to show you how Americans live, it's also to show you, to give you some inspiration how to decorate your own room, because I love mixing up different cultures, and you know, because this is all me, like mixing different cultures and languages. But yeah, it has a small window. I like the curtains. It looks out at the backyard, and it's a really nice kids room. Lunchtime, and we've got some good chicken. Is it good?
It's the best one. It's the best that I tried in the United States. You know what? Because Russian guy cooked it.
And because we got it in a Russian shop. If you're guys from San Francisco or anywhere in America, try Russian shops. What I wanted to talk about in this house, like the moment I went in here, I'm like, how do people live here their whole lives? Because I was born in a big city, I live in San Francisco, and basically, I was thinking like, where do you go from here? You're in the middle of nowhere. Yes, you have a river. Yes, you have a cemetery. And whenever you want to go, you need to drive. Let me guys know down in comments below whether you live in a small village or in a big city, but I'm definitely 100% a city girl. Yes, you have to wait before I finish talking. And yeah, I wouldn't imagine myself...
He's sweating already because he wants to eat, you know?
I wouldn't imagine myself living in a small village, like... Not right now, because I just want to be among people, and I'm a person who likes to sit at home, and I want my house to have everything. If I sit at home here all the time, I would just miss communication with the outside world. Let me know what you think, and we're gonna have some lunch.
If you sit in the house, what's the difference? You sit here or in San Francisco?
No, in San Francisco we have the gym, we have the pool, we have all of the neighbors. Like here you don't have the neighbors, you only have the cow. And
makes sense. Makes sense.
Makes sense? Okay. So, yeah, let's eat.
Let's go! Who is the champion?
The purpose of the whole trip was to get away from the city and enjoy the nature. We have a river 2-minute walk away from my home. And guess what? What I love about California, people are trying to use every single piece of land, everything that nature gives to rest and enjoy. Like look at the rafting. I've never done that in my life. Russian style is to just swim in the river, exactly what we've done. And then after this, we're gonna see the Tahoe Lake, so stay tuned. Close to Lake Tahoe, and this is where we came. This is a beloved place to spend a weekend for all the San Franciscans, and just for you guys, I'm gonna dive in right now. I hate doing that. It's really cold, but just for you.
Make the confident choice today and start learning English with a proven method and guaranteed results. Achieve your goals with an award-winning English language learning experience. Welcome to Wall Street English. Make the most of your time watching online videos and learn English with our own TV series. Study the language you've seen with interactive lessons that will improve your listening and speaking skills. Practice pronunciation and improve.
You did it!
Who's the champion?
You are the champion!
Guys, your champion is back. I swam, I drank some water, it tastes really good. This was my best swimming experience so far because it's so much better than the sea, because it's not salty and you can actually drink water from it. Love, love and recommend. Let's continue our tour, guys, and go to one of the most important rooms in any house, master bedroom, where the masters of the house live. This is the master bedroom. Master bedroom is the one that normally has the king-size bed. I really, really love the king-size beds because it's really, really comfortable to lie on a big one. This is a pretty standard village-style bedroom. What I love about American homes is that a lot of rooms would have carpet on the floor. And this is really comfortable to wake up and step your bare feet on a comfortable... This floor, this carpet is a little old, but it's so, so comfortable. I love, love, love the feeling. So if you're thinking of what to put on your floor in your bedroom, put the carpet. Wardrobe. It's like a separate room. I would say it's a guest bedroom. Because when I first came to Miami and I came with my cousin, and we stayed in a one-bedroom apartment, and I was sharing the bed with my aunt, and he was staying in a closet. We just bumped up the mattress for him and he enjoyed it a lot. He didn't even want to move. He was 12 years old back then. So if you have cousins, why not? By the way, we're in California, so there are not a lot of heaters here, but there's the air conditioning system, which is a little weird for me. This is the first time I see an air conditioning unit coming from the floor, but I think it's pretty clever because the cold air lifts up, and when I was lying in the bed yesterday night, I really felt that it's cooling the space. And now we're gonna see the bathroom, which is unfortunately, and this is super weird for an American home, it's the only bathroom in a 3-bedroom home. What is really important and what I want you guys to maybe have in your home, because it's super, super comfortable. This is called vanity shelf. This is a shelf where you have your sink, but you also have a shelf where you put all of your vanities, like makeup, whatever you're using in the bathroom. Another thing that I've only seen in America, and I think it's super clever, because back in Russia, in my bathroom, I have a lot of mold. Well, I don't have it all the time, but sometimes when you don't clean your bathroom for like 2 or 3 weeks, you start getting mold, and it's dangerous. You have to get rid of it. But what Americans came up with is this plastic unit that has the bath and it also has the walls. And because it's a solid unit, you don't have the space where you can get the mold. So I think it's super clever. They don't do that in new homes. I haven't seen it a lot, but in old houses, they have a lot of these guys. It's a plastic unit with a bathroom. This is actually a 2-story house, but the second floor is downstairs. So we have floor 1 and floor -1. Floor -1 is a game area, which is pretty cool. What I love about American homes, they're so big, you have space for a game room, but I would do a YouTube room here or something like that. This door, there's nothing right there, but this morning I talked to the lady who's renting out this place, and she actually bought it 1 year ago. She bought the whole territory, so you have like a master house here, 3 guest houses, and a cemetery. The one that you've seen, she owns it. And she actually has an agreement with the state of this city or village that she can let people in every day during working hours so they can visit the cemetery, and she can also give permission for people to get buried there. So it's pretty interesting. But what she also told that she was surprised that this house has only 1 bathroom, so she's gonna make another bathroom here, and there's also another bedroom, guest bedroom, queen bed, really comfy, and it has an exit to the street. I'm really excited about what she's gonna make about this house, because I love the way it is right now, but she's also gonna refurbish it. I think it has such a homely feeling. I feel so comfortable here. So 2 nights, even with the cemetery view, I feel so comfortable. I slept so well. So definitely recommend it if you're looking for a place to come and, you know, spend a weekend. Let's go. I'll show you something else that is super interesting about this place. They have a stone where Native Americans used to crack nuts to make powder and to create their food. And this is right by our house. Let's go and see it. Welcome to the backyard of our house. I think it was a kitchen, because what they used the stone for is that they made holes in it. They took stones, they put all the nuts in here, and then they just started making powder out of these stones. And by the number of the holes, you can tell how many people were there in a group that lived here. So these are Native Americans that we're talking about. But this is so cool. We're seeing the history. This is where, you know, people created their food. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please let me know what you think. Please let me know where you're watching from. This is super important because I look at the stats, we see a lot of Americans in the viewers, but also let me know where exactly you're watching from and what house do you want to see next. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, there is a subscribe button down below. Like if you've enjoyed watching this vlog, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Vietnamese Colors Go mới bổ sung sữa non 24 giờ nhập khẩu từ Mỹ, giúp mức gia tăng kháng thể IgA tự nhiên tăng lên 8 lần, tăng cường miễn dịch, giảm nhiễm khuẩn. Vietnamese Colors Go, miễn dịch khỏe, bé lớn.
Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Do you know these very American things? Let's talk about it. Do 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 do. Do you know this song? Most Americans immediately recognize this tune, even though my poor singing. You're immediately able to recognize this song because it is a common feature of American culture. So today I would like to help you learn 10 common things. Some of them are expressions, some of them are activities, some of them are cultural elements that all Americans know, and you should too. Now, of course, the US is an incredibly diverse place with a lot of people who have various backgrounds, so this might not apply to everyone. I can't speak for all people living in the United States, but these are generally known things in the US that it's kind of fun to be able to know as well. So let's get started with the first one. And to help you remember everything that you learned in this very American lesson, you can download the free PDF worksheet that I've made for today's lesson. It includes all of these expressions, cultural elements, and ideas that I've talked about in this lesson. Plus, you'll see Vanessa's challenge question so that you can answer it and use what you've learned. You can download that PDF with the link in the description. All right, let's get started with our first very American thing that almost all Americans know what it is. If I asked you, what are you doing for the 4th? Would you know what I mean? You might look at your calendar and say, November 4th? December 4th? No, when someone asks you, what are you doing for the 4th? They always mean July 4th. And that's because July 4th is the American Independence Day. And we usually just shorten this to the 4th. What are you doing for the 4th? I'm going to the lake for the 4th. I'm not really doing anything for the 4th, but maybe I'll try to find some fireworks. We often shorten Independence Day or July 4th to just the 4th. And now you know that too. If I said to you, whoa, I just found a Benjamin on the street. I can't believe it. Would you think that I found a guy named Benjamin on the street and I just feel so excited? Maybe he's my long-lost friend? Nope. If I said I found a Benjamin on the street, that means a $100 bill. And that's because Benjamin Franklin is the guy who's on the $100 bill. So if you say, oh man, I really just need to earn some Benjamins this weekend. I need to pay my rent. I'm falling behind. That means you need to make several $100s. It's just slang for $100. So I hope for you, you find a Benjamin on the street someday. That would be amazing. If my husband Dan said, did you eat the last piece of cake? I might say, I plead the 5th. Oh. What is happening here? Am I telling him that I'm guilty, or am I telling him I'm not guilty? I didn't do it. Well, this expression, I plead the 5th, has to do with the 5th Amendment to the Constitution. And that means that I don't need to tell you because maybe it will hurt me in a court of law later. This is a very legal type of statement, but we often use this in daily conversation to say, yes, but I don't want to tell you. So when my husband asks me, did you eat the last piece of cake? And I say, I plead the 5th, he knows, yes, Vanessa ate it, but she doesn't want to tell me. So you can use this very American expression when you want to tell someone yes, but maybe you feel embarrassed to tell them yes directly. You can just say, I plead the fifth. Great expression. In 2004, I was a senior. Does this mean I was old? In 2004? What if I told you also that in 2008 I was also a senior? If you're an American, you can probably guess that this means I was in high school in 2004 and I was in college in 2008. A senior means you are in your last year of high school or your last year of college. So in the US, we often have terms for first, second, third, and fourth year in high school and in college. So if you are in 9th grade, you are a freshman. If you are in 10th grade, you're a sophomore. Notice that the O in the middle of this word is silent, sophomore. If you're in 11th grade, you are a junior. We could say, I'm in my junior year. I'm a junior. And if you're in 12th grade, so the final grade of high school, you're a senior. And this type of system also applies to college. You are a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior in college, especially when you go to a 4-year college, these type of terms apply. So it's quite common that when you are a senior, you think you are much better than freshmen. Oh, I was never so small. They're so much like just little children, those freshmen. We are seniors. I think this is pretty common in high school that you see the people who are younger than you as so much younger. I wasn't like that when I was a freshman, but really you were. So this type of system is quite common in the US, and now you know about it too. When you arrive in the US, you will probably need to fill out a visa form, and at the bottom of the visa, you need to sign your John Hancock. Is your name John Hancock? Well, if it is, you definitely need to do that. But this term, sign your John Hancock, just means your signature. There's a little bit of American history behind this because John Hancock was a guy who signed his name big and large on the Declaration of Independence. So it was kind of a bold statement where these colonists in the United States or in the Americas told England, we want to have independence. And it's a pretty big statement. Maybe there's some treason involved, so it's kind of scary to say, I'm someone who supports this. But John Hancock signed his name really large on that document. So it was bold and courageous. It was a big move. So because of this, his name is synonymous now with a signature. Sign your John Hancock. Put your John Hancock here. We don't always use this instead of signature, but you will definitely hear this, and it's steeped in American history. And now you can use it too. Now we have 2 fun American idioms. One is if I said to you, you shouldn't buy a new car. If you buy a used car, you get more bang for your buck. This expression, bang for your buck, kind of includes 2 American concepts. One is buck, which is slang for dollars. And the other one, bang, doesn't necessarily relate to guns, but I know guns are kind of culturally linked to the US. So we get this idea that you can get a great value for your money if you buy a used car. So you might say, yeah, you should get a used car. It's more bang for your buck. Don't get a new car. It's better to get a used car. This is a great expression. More bang for your buck. When I was growing up, before we left for school almost every morning, it was pretty common for my sister and I to fight over who said shotgun first. Why were we trying to beat each other to say shotgun? What's that mean? Does that mean we want to carry a shotgun? Does that mean we were going hunting or shooting? No. Instead, shotgun is the passenger seat. And for some reason, this is the most desirable seat in the car when you're not the driver. So kids, I guess not too young, but high schoolers or older kids always want to call shotgun. And we use that expression, I call shotgun, or just saying shotgun. And that means That's my seat. I claim it. And this was really common, especially with siblings, even with friends too, that before you get in the car, if you're not the driver, you'd say, I call shotgun. Well, maybe now you can call shotgun too. Have you ever eaten the most tasty bonfire treat in the entire world? This is something I look forward to every time we have a bonfire. It is s'mores. S'mores. This is something I didn't realize was very American until I was talking to some international friends and they said, what? We just toast marshmallows. What do you put with them? So let me explain to you a delicacy, something amazing that has a special place in my heart. First, you have a graham cracker. This is a special type of cookie, even though it's called cracker. It's quite sweet. And then we have a piece of chocolate. So we often buy some Hershey's chocolate, break off a piece, put it on the graham cracker, and when you're having a bonfire, you set that close to the fire, not too close, but close enough that the chocolate gets a little soft. And then you take a stick and 2 marshmallows, you could do 1, but 2 is better, and you toast them over the fire very carefully to make sure that they don't explode into flames. Some people like that. Personally, I like them to be perfectly toasted, and it is an art form, let me tell you. So you toast them, and then when they're toasted, you put them on the chocolate and you take another piece of a graham cracker and you slide the marshmallows off, and there you have the perfect s'more. Toasty, warm, melty, gooey, so perfect. So the next time that you're at a bonfire, maybe you can introduce this idea to your friends, or if you're at a bonfire in the US, you will definitely see people eating s'mores. Please try it for my sake. I hope you'll love it. All right, now it's time for the song you have been waiting for. It is dun da 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 dun da 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 da. Do you know this song? This song is Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And I included this here because there's a funny little story I wanted to share with you. One of my friends, you might follow his YouTube channel. His name's Jack. He has a YouTube channel called To Fluency, and he's from the UK, but he's married to an American. And he told me that one time they were playing a game with some Americans, and the game was that you had to hum a song and your partner had to guess what it was. So his wife drew a card and it said, hum Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And she's like, all right, this is a good song. It's easy. He'll understand it immediately. So she started to hum. And he just looked at her like, what? I've never heard that in my life. So obviously that was not a good moment in their game for them, maybe a little funny. But because of this, I realized, oh, maybe this song isn't quite so well known internationally, but it is a staple of American culture because baseball is extremely common and this song is sung before every baseball game. So if you've ever been to any kind of big baseball game in the US, you've definitely heard this song, and if you memorize the lyrics, you'll be able to sing along and cheer with everyone. It's a great moment to kind of have that group feeling of excitement before a game. So make sure you check out Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You can search on YouTube and see some clips of crowds of people at baseball games singing this song. Quite fun and very American.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for it's room for the Collies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Nhìn kìa, tạ sệ khiến bé đi 2 hàng. Đã có tã quần giữ dáng Pampers mới, thấm hút từ trước ra sau, giữ cho tã không bị vón cục và sệ, khô thoáng đến 99% suốt 12 giờ. Pampers, số 1 Nhật Bản.
Our final very American thing today also has to do with baseball. What if I said to you, your speech was awesome, you knocked it out of the park? Did you give a speech about baseball? Are you playing baseball? No, this just means it was amazing. You did even better than expected. You knocked it out of the park. Here we have the image of someone playing baseball. He's got a baseball bat, someone's pitching him the ball, and he hits it. He doesn't just hit it into the outfield. That's where someone can catch it. He hits it beyond the field, out of the park. And this means it's a home run. No one can catch it, and it's great for his team. Everyone can get to home base, and they might get a lot of points. So here, knocking it out of the park is a great thing in baseball and in life. So if you do something really awesome, better than expected, you can use this expression. Oh man, I can't believe it, but I talked to someone in English the other day and I think I knocked it out of the park. I explained myself exactly the way I wanted. I did it and they understood me. Congratulations, you knocked it out of the park. Well, congratulations, now you are in the loop to all of these American secrets, all of these things that most Americans know, and now you do too. If you are American and you're watching this, let me know in the comments, did you know all these things? I think they're pretty common in American culture, but let me know in the comments and I would love to see what you have to say. Don't forget to download the free PDF worksheet so that you can learn all of these American concepts. Print it out, put it under your pillow, sleep on it, dream about it. I hope it will help you to expand your English knowledge and be more confident as you speak. And now I have a question for you. Have you ever celebrated the 4th? If you live in the US, maybe you've joined a 4th of July celebration, but I want to know, have you ever celebrated the 4th? Let me know, and I will see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye! The next step is to download the free PDF worksheet for this lesson. With this free PDF, you will master today's lesson and never forget what you have learned. You can be a confident English speaker. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a free English lesson every.
Hi, Bob the Canadian here. In this English lesson, I'm going to take you to 4 different restaurants and I'm going to teach you 4 different English phrases that you can use to order food in English. Well, hey, welcome to this video on ordering food in English at a restaurant. Before we get started though, I wanted to mention 2 things. Number 1, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please click that red subscribe button below. And number 2, if you're worried that I'm going to eat all this food myself, I'm not. My kids are eagerly waiting at home to see what food I order and what food I bring home today. So the first thing we're going to order is a pizza. In this restaurant, I'm going to order a small pepperoni pizza, and I'm going to use the phrase, I would like to order, or the short form of it would be, I'd like to order. So let's go in and order a small pepperoni pizza.
Hi, how can I help you?
Yes, I would like to order a small pepperoni pizza.
Is it for pickup?
Yes, for pickup, please. Yep.
What's your phone number?
It's 905
Yeah.
386
386
0042.
And your name?
Bob.
Bob?
Yep.
What do you like to order, Bob?
Just a small pepperoni pizza.
And that's everything for today?
That's everything for today, yep.
Okay. So your total comes to 905 cash?
Yep.
Cents your change.
Thank you.
And it will take about 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So the next thing I thought we should order is a hamburger and some fries. It's a pretty classic thing to order from a fast food restaurant. And in this restaurant, I will be using the phrase, I will have, or I'll have. I'll have is the short form of it. So let's go in and get a burger and some fries. Hi, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. I'll have the teen burger.
It's for here or to go, sir?
To go, please.
Okay.
And the combo, please.
Fries and root beer?
Fries and root beer would be good. Yep.
That's everything?
That's everything.
And
yep.
have a name for the order?
Bob.
Bob. It's $11.96, sir.
you very much.
Yes, sir. The straws are over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. See ya. Well, we're done here. We got a burger and some fries. And the drink I got is a root beer. So let's head to the next place. So the next thing I thought we should order is a sub. In this restaurant, I'll use the phrase, could I have, to order my sub. Not sure what sub I'm getting yet. We'll see when we get in there. Could I have a cold cut combo? Whole wheat bread. Foot long, please. Yes, thank you.
Toasted sweet.
Not toasted.
White cheddar.
Orange cheddar, please. Some tomatoes, some spinach, and some cucumbers, please. Yeah, is there a combo?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we make that a combo?
Would you like cookies or chips?
Cookies, please.
I need to get 2 chips.
2 chocolate chip.
And do you want a fountain drink or a bottle?
Fountain drink.
Medium size.
Yes.
That'll be $12.05.
Thank you very much. No receipt, no. Thank you. So I got my sub. Now I just need to fill up my own drink over here. So I'm here at Tim Hortons, of course. The last thing I'm going to order today is a half dozen donuts. So my kids will have something to eat for dessert. I'm going to use the phrase, could I get, to order the food that I need. Hi. Could I get 6 donuts? Do you need to know what kind?
You can just choose them if you want, like after you pay.
Yep, so that sounds good. That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Do you have a rewards card today?
Nope.
And is that cash or debit?
Debit. I have to let them know which donuts I want. Yeah, so I'll have a chocolate dip. There's one right here, I think. Boston cream. Vanilla dip. Maple dip. A classic sour cream. And another Boston cream. Awesome, thank you. I think of all the stuff I bought today, this is going to be my kids' favorite for sure. So I actually almost forgot that I have to pick up the pizza yet. So we're back at the pizza shop and I'm going to go in and get my small pepperoni pizza. Hi, small pizza for Bob?
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So I got the pizza and our little trip is almost done, but there's one more stop actually. So I was almost done making the video and Jen texted me and asked if I could get her a peppermint tea from Tim Hortons.
Hi, Tom, can I help you?
Yeah, could I get a large peppermint tea?
Anything else?
Nope, that's everything.
All right, $1. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Peppermint tea black?
Is it $1?
It's $2.02, so $2.
$2.02. There you go.
Do you have your rewards card?
No.
That's all right. Here you go.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. One really big cup of peppermint tea for Jen. And now I think I'm done. Well, hey, that was 4 ways to order food in English. I hope that you learned a few new English phrases today. Bob the Canadian here. You are learning English with Bob the Canadian. If you're new here, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up if this video helped you learn just a little bit more English. And
Đà Lạt Milk hoàn toàn từ sữa tươi. Hoàn toàn từ sữa tươi? Sữa nào mà không phải là sữa? Tưởng vậy mà không phải vậy nha.
Hi, Bob the Canadian here. Let's learn English around the house. Come on in. Hi, Bob the Canadian here. Welcome to this video. If this is your first time here, don't forget to click the subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up at some point during this video if it's helping you learn English. Well, today we're going to learn some English words and phrases that you can use to describe a house. I just came in through the front door. Houses generally have a front door and a back door. I'll show you that one a bit later. And I'm standing in the front entrance or the entranceway of the house. It's a little warm, so I'm going to take off my coat. And you'll notice behind me there's a coat hanger. So I'm going to hang my coat here and I'm going to do what we traditionally do in Canada, and that is that I'm going to take off my shoes. Before we go any further though, I want to thank Barb the Canadian for letting me use her house today to make this video to help you learn English. The front entranceway also usually has a closet where you can hang coats and other items. So especially in the winter when you come into a home, you might want to hang your coat in the closet if there's not enough room on the coat hangers. So you'll notice behind me here the kitchen. The kitchen is one of my favorite rooms in the house. I really like food, so I really like kitchens. You'll notice behind me here that a kitchen has a certain number of items. We have the refrigerator or the fridge where you can keep food cold. This fridge has a freezer on the bottom. We also have the stove, and generally we call this part the oven where you would bake things. And up here we have the stove where you would cook things. If you look behind me here, you'll see we have a sink. So when you're all done making your food and eating your food, you can do the dishes. You can wash the dishes in the sink. And if you look over here on the counter, you'll notice that we have three things that you find quite often in a kitchen. We have a coffee maker, we have a kettle for boiling water, and we have a pitcher of water if you just want to drink some water. Up here, you'll notice that we have cupboards. So cupboards, notice it's not pronounced the way it looks. In a cupboard, you'll find things like plates and bowls that you can use for eating. Those are pretty loud. And if we look over here, we'll have what we in Canada would call a utensil drawer. So this is a drawer where you would keep spoons, forks, and knives. You'll also see this area here is what we would call the counter or the countertop. You can use both words interchangeably. So you might use the countertop or the counter to prepare food. And you'll notice hiding over here in the corner, we have a microwave, just a small appliance that lets you heat up food really, really quickly. So that's the kitchen, one of my favorite rooms. Let's move on to the living room. So we're in the living room now. The living room is the room in the home where you will usually find chairs and sofas, or what we also call couches. It's the room where when you just want to relax, this is the room that you would generally sit in. Maybe you want to read a book, maybe you want to watch TV. If we look over here, you'll see that this living room also has a TV, a television, where you could sit just to have a quiet, relaxing evening where you are going to entertain yourself by reading a book, maybe sitting and talking with friends, or watching some television. So that's the living room. Let's look at the dining room next. So another part of the house that I really like is the dining room. So this is a room with a table specifically for eating meals. So you would have breakfast, lunch, and supper at this table in the dining room. You can tell that Christmas is coming soon. I'll do a video soon about Christmas. I think next week I'm going to a parade and I'll show you a whole bunch of stuff about Christmas. But this is the dining room. We have a dining room table and we have chairs to sit at as we would eat our meals. So we're in the bathroom now, and there's really three main parts to a bathroom. We have a sink where you could wash your hands, so you could turn on the water and wash your hands. We also have, if I turn just a little bit, behind me here we have a shower, so you could jump in here to have a shower, maybe at the end of a long day of work. And then we also have, and I'm not going to describe what this is for, but we also have a toilet. I think everyone in the world knows what this is for and how to use it, so I'm not going to spend any time describing it. But you have a toilet. This is the toilet seat. You have toilet paper, and this is where you would go if you felt the call of nature. That's the nice way of putting it. So we're in the upstairs of the house now. You'll notice that we're in a bedroom. So there's a good reason why it's called a bedroom. It's because there's a bed. So in a bedroom, you're going to have a bed. You're also going to have things that in English we call dressers. So if you look over here, there is a dresser. And a dresser is a place where, using these drawers, this is where you would store all of your clothes. So in a bedroom, you generally have a bed, which is right here, and you have a dresser where you can store stuff. There's also in this bedroom what we would call night tables. So there's a table on each side of the bed with a small lamp. This is a place where you could keep a book. If you read at night before you go to bed, you would keep it on your nightstand or night table. So this is a bedroom. I'm not sure how easy this is to see, but I'm standing in a hallway. So a hallway is the part of the home that connects all the rooms together. This room is empty. In English, we would call this a spare room. Sometimes a spare room has an extra bed in it. This room is just empty. So we would call this a spare room. I just came down these stairs and I'm now in the basement of this house. A basement is the part of the house that is below ground, and many times in a home the basement is used to store things. It also usually has a furnace. This is what heats the home with gas or oil in the winter, and a hot water heater. This is what makes hot water for the house as well. And usually those types of things are found in a basement. So here in the basement, it's the part that's below ground. I'll just show you a window over here for a sec so that you get a sense of where we are. So here's the basement window. It's a little hard to see, but if you look outside, you'll notice that we are at ground level or below ground level in the basement here. So a lot of Canadian homes will also have a garage. A garage is a place where you can keep your car, and a garage has a garage door, which you just saw open behind me. As well, a garage sometimes has a garage door opener. This is a device that's on the ceiling of the garage. And I'll just show you for a sec. This is a device that's on the ceiling of a garage that opens the door automatically when you click the button in your car. So that's a garage door opener. It's a little cold to be out here with no coat on, but I just wanted to show you, earlier I mentioned the back door. This is the back door of the house. When you have a back door, a lot of times you'll have a barbecue outside. And then also down here, there's just kind of a patio area. So there's an area where you can come out to cook some food in the summer months when it's warmer. You can come out your back door, you can go down your steps, and you can use your barbecue to cook some food. So this is a small patio area outside the back door. Well, hey, thanks for joining me today to learn some English that you can use around a house. Bob the Canadian here, Learn English with Bob the Canadian. If you haven't yet, please click the subscribe button below and the small bell icon so that you can be notified of new videos. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and it helped you learn English. And please do share this video with a friend or anyone you know that is learning English. Don't forget as well to scroll down. There is some bonus material in the description below to help you practice some of the English that you have learned in this video. Bob the Canadian here, Learn English with Bob the Canadian. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.
trọn chính mình trên từng cm với Lactaxit mới. Lactaxit, yêu trọn chính mình.
Oh, it's from my casa. Yo, Skinny P, what's up, brother? What up with it, yo? Hey, Combo, good to see you. Welcome to my humble abode. Good deal, mover, good deal. Yo, Bash, hey.
Oh, cool crib, man.
Hey everyone, today we're learning vocabulary around the house or home with the help of our favorite TV series, of course. Now, you could say that the word house is an umbrella term, meaning it's a term used to describe a broad category of things. This is because there are many different types of houses. Of course, there are apartments in the US and flats in the UK, then a cottage, a small house in the country. A hut, as you see in the picture, is a small simple building with only 1 or 2 rooms. A bungalow is a common type of house in the US and in parts of the UK, which you could describe as a small house that is on only 1 level. Most people though, if not in apartments, live in your normal run-of-the-mill house. If you're with your friends and want to be informal, you might say crib in American English.
Joey, look at this crib. It's so cute.
I know. I found it on the street.
Are you...
Oops, sorry, wrong clip. That's literally a crib, a bed for a baby. Check out this example.
Oh, it's from my casa. Yo, Skinny P, what's up, brother? What up with it, yo? Hey, Combo, good to see you. Welcome to my humble abode. Good deal, mover, good deal. Yo, Bash, hey.
Oh, cool crib, man. Hey, it echoes. Hello?
Did you notice how Jesse referred to his house as abode? I know what you're thinking. This is a strange word, but it's a synonym of house. Like Jesse, we would say it in a humorous tone. Welcome to my humble abode.
Oh, hey Mark. Welcome to my humble abode.
Well, thank you. Whoa, this is way cleaner than the last time I was here.
You've been here?
Another funny thing Jesse said in that clip is casa, which is Spanish for house.
Huh? So what do you think? Casa de Joey. Huh? I decorated it myself. Get out.
Something else that we often say humorously in Spanish is the translation of something we say to guests when we want them to feel comfortable in our home. That's the phrase feel at home or make yourself at home.
And anyway, Greg, meanwhile, anything you need, just ask, huh?
That's right. Mi casa es su casa.
Oh, thanks, Jack. You too.
In American culture, the house is a big part of what's known as the American dream. As defined by Merriam-Webster, the American dream is a happy way of living that is thought of as something that can be achieved by anyone in the US, especially by working hard and becoming successful. Others, in very few words, describe the American dream as 2 kids, a dog, and a white picket fence. In case you're new here, we help you to learn fast English without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles. Just like Mira, who says that she loves every single one of our lessons. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell down below so that you don't miss a single one of our new lessons. Picket fences are a common feature of certain American houses, and they symbolize the ideal middle-class suburban life with a family and children, large house, and peaceful living. Let's see how this concept of family and lifestyle is used in some TV shows.
Hey, I love you. And I love the idea of raising our kids with a lawn and a white picket fence, but we have our whole lives to decide when and if we want to do that.
The only reason I'm not here now, darling, is I'm at work to make enough money to buy you a house, a picket fence, we'll have dogs and children.
We'll now walk into the house and explore the different rooms. We'll start with the basic ones that you probably already know: the bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen. There's a chance you're not pronouncing them correctly. Let's see. Do you pronounce this as bedroom or bedroom? If you're like most learners, you're probably pronouncing this as 2 separate words. You'll notice that it's even easier to pronounce it as bedroom. The same with Bathroom. Let's see some examples.
I just cannot believe that you ate that so that I wouldn't feel bad.
Well, actually, I didn't eat mine. It's still in the bathroom.
No, it isn't. I ate that.
And we left ours in Monica's bedroom.
Nope, got it, and got yours too.
Now, the detail you might be missing with the word kitchen is that the T is silent.
Okay, Steve, you look in the kitchen, I will look in the back closet.
I can save you time, ladies. I'm right here.
A loft is a room or space directly under the roof of a house or another building, used for accommodation or storage. It can also be referred to as an attic. In the UK, it's very common to have a loft conversion, meaning that this space is converted into another room or bedroom, rather than keeping it as a storage space. The next two most common rooms in a house are the living room.
There's the coffee table they stole from us. Oh, those bastards. Let's go. Okay. That fan kind of looks like ours, and the bird cage, and this. Wait a second, this is our exact living room.
And the dining room. In American houses, many times the dining area and the kitchen are in the same room. You've probably noticed in movies that American houses tend to have basements. This is the part of the house that's below ground level.
So you dragged us over here, went in there, pretended to talk, and then snuck out the basement, am I right?
The basement connected to another basement, which connected to a garage, which is where my boy picked me up.
Your boy?
A garage is an extension of some houses, usually connected to one side, and is a place people keep their cars and store other items. Did you hear the way he pronounced it here?
Connected to a garage, which is where my boy picked me up.
The American and British pronunciation are quite different. In Britain, we say garage. Do you struggle to understand fast-speaking natives? Then I highly recommend our Fluent with Friends course. In this 48-week course, you will learn with the first 2 seasons of Friends. You'll receive PDF power lessons every week, vocabulary memorization software, access to our Fluency Circle global community, and so much more. And did you know you can try it right now for free with our 3-part masterclass? All you have to do is click up here or down in the description box below to learn more and sign up now. We look forward to seeing you there. Which of these expressions doesn't involve cleaning your house? In addition to doing housework and doing chores, you can also say to do household chores. All these refer to tasks such as doing the dishes, ironing, sweeping and mopping, vacuuming, etc.
Guys, you won't believe this. I stopped by the university to check in on Howard and Amy, and they were having fun.
Well, don't worry. He won't be having any fun when he gets home. I did all his favorite chores.
What are you talking about? Howard hates doing chores.
But then why would Bernadette tell me that... Bernadette.
What do you think about household chores? Do you enjoy doing them or do you hate them? Is there a particular chore you enjoy doing? Share it in the comments. Housekeeping refers to the management of duties and chores involved in the running of a household, such as cleaning, cooking, home maintenance, shopping, and bill payment.
Well, it took a year. She's finally cooking and cleaning. I knew this would pay off eventually.
Does everybody like egg pie?
Jess, I believe the word that you're looking for is frittata.
Oh, Schmidt, stop staring at my frittatas.
If you're enjoying this lesson, then I highly recommend you watch this one next, where you can learn English for at the restaurant. You can click up here or down in the description box below to watch that next. When it comes to housekeeping, it's important to know who to call in case something malfunctions. Let's see, who would you call if you have a problem in the bathroom?
If only there was some sort of pipe and water expert that we could hire to come and fix this problem.
I can't afford a plumber.
A plumber! That's what it's called.
You really want to do this?
A locksmith is someone who makes and repairs locks. A handyman is someone who is good at doing repairs and practical jobs in the house. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and have learnt lots of new vocabulary, pronunciation, and even culture. If you enjoy this type of lesson, then we have some great ones based on airport vocabulary and also restaurant vocabulary that you can check out next.
First off, before you even leave your home, you'll probably want to talk about your plans for eating out. This is a very common phrasal verb that simply means to eat in a restaurant. Example, I like to eat out at least once every week. When I lived in Italy, I used to eat out all the time.
A lack of attention to detail with regard.
Không cần đi can thiệp tốn hàng chục triệu đồng, mình đã giúp con thoát chậm nói đơn giản thế nào. Mình có một em bé thật đặc biệt các mama, bởi con mình chậm nói. Mình phát hiện khi thấy con 18 tháng rồi nhưng không nói được như các bé cùng tuổi. Trong khi các bé khác đã líu lo thì con chỉ vẫn bập bẹ được vài từ cơ bản. Muốn lấy gì thì con chỉ kéo tay thôi. Mình đã thực sự lo lắng và tìm tòi đủ mọi thứ trên mạng về các
Hello everybody and welcome back to Love English with Layla and Sabra. I'm Sabra. Now recently on Love English we've been really focusing on building and expanding your vocabulary, which will of course help you in all other areas of English. So today we're carrying on with that theme, we're continuing with that theme, and we're going to be looking at very common, very normal English verbs, but they're more advanced and interesting versions. So on today's lesson guys, 50 advanced English verbs. Whew. Are you ready? Before we get started guys, don't forget to subscribe, click that lovely red button, and also you can follow us on our social media. But as well as that guys, you can visit our website www.loveenglish.co.uk and you can actually get a free sample of our coming ebook, which is all about building and learning new vocabulary. So you can get a free sample of that on our website, the link is there. Guys, don't forget to try and use these verbs that we're going to learn in a sentence below in the comments, and I will check it for you if you do leave me a comment with one of these verbs. Okay everybody, so number one, we're going to look at synonyms for the verb to drink. So the first verb is to sip, and to sip means to drink something slowly, to have a small amount at a time. So for example, people generally sip tea or they sip coffee, they don't drink it all down at once, they take little amounts at a time. This is called to sip. The second verb is to slurp. To slurp, quite an onomatopoeic verb, meaning it actually sounds like what it is. This is when somebody drinks something very noisily, so you can actually hear them drinking. For example, if they're drinking tea and they go like this, they're slurping their tea. The next verb is to down a drink. And this means to drink the drink all at once. For example, if you're in a hurry and you need to quickly drink your drink, you might quickly down it. However, I have to say that the most common use of this verb is when you're drinking alcohol and your friends are encouraging you to drink it all in one go, and they might say, go on, down it, and this means drink your drink. I do not recommend that though, guys. Bad headache the next day. Okay, moving on to synonyms of the verb to eat. There are many different ways, guys, to eat something, so in English we have different verbs to describe different ways of eating something. First we have to crunch, I explained this verb actually in my last video on how to learn 100 English verbs a day, which is up there. So to crunch means to eat something noisily, usually because the food has to be eaten noisily. For example, crisps, carrots, peppers. If you eat them, you're going to make a noise as you're chewing them, so you crunch it. Next verb, very similar sound, is to munch. If you munch something, you eat something steadily, so you keep eating it. You need to eat it for a while to really be able to swallow it. And also often if you're munching something, you'll also make a bit of a noise. So often we describe animals as munching things. For example, cows or horses will munch grass or hay. They'll be chewing it for a while. They're munching it. Okay, the next verb is to scoff. And to scoff means to eat something quickly, usually because it's very tasty or you're in a rush. If you scoff it, you eat it very, very quickly. This is quite an informal verb, but we do use it all the time. So we might say, wow, she must be enjoying that, she's really scoffing it, or she's scoffing it down. Now, a little bit of homework for you guys, as the verb scoff actually has a second meaning. So I want you to go away and research it and tell me in the comments below what you have found out that it means. Number 7 is to nibble. And this means to take little bites of something, to eat it slowly. So normally we nibble on a snack, for example, crisps or nuts. In fact, they can be called nibbles. If you're going to a person's house for dinner, often before the dinner there might be some snacks put out for the guests to nibble on. Number 8 is to chomp. And this means to eat something quite noisily again, or where you're chewing it a lot, where you need to really chew it. This can be things like, for example, toffees and sweets where you really have to chew them. Okay guys, now we're looking at alternatives to the verb to walk. There are many different ways that people can walk, and so we have different verbs to describe different manners of walking. Number 9 is to stroll, and this means to walk in a relaxed way. If you're strolling, you don't need to get anywhere in a hurry, you're taking your time, you're relaxing. You can say, for example, we went for a stroll in the park. Next verb is to stride. To stride means that you take big and long steps and with a purpose. So you want to get somewhere, or you want to show people that you're confident. Quite a lot of men actually will stride. They know that they've got to get somewhere quickly, so they'll take big steps and they might be walking with confidence, so they stride. Number 11, I love this verb. This is to strut. To strut. And this is perhaps particularly used to describe the way that women walk. If you strut, you walk in a way in which you're showing off in some way. So you're walking very, very confidently, again, probably taking quite big steps. But you're walking with attitude, so you're walking to show yourself off. So often girls in high heels and things like that, they'll strut into a bar. Number 12, again, this one is one of my favourite verbs, and this is to swagger. To swagger. And to swagger means to walk in a way, again, that you're showing off, you're walking quite confidently, but it's also a way to show that you're perhaps a little bit rebellious. So, for example, in American movies, gangsters will swagger. They'll walk with attitude to show who they are and to show how important they are and things like that. Number 13, to dawdle. To dawdle. If you dawdle, you walk slowly, you check your phone. Maybe you're trying to actually avoid continuing. So for example, sometimes our parents, when we were younger, might have said to us, stop dawdling, we need to get to school. Now we're looking at synonyms of the verb to speak and the verb to talk.
Stop yelling at me, we're yelling at you, we're yelling at Cosmo, we're yelling at me.
Các bạn có đang tìm kiếm một mô hình kinh doanh online với một hệ thống tự động hoạt động phía sau 24/7 để bạn kiếm thêm thu nhập mà vẫn có thời.
So can you guess what that was? That was actually yell or shout. So if you're yelling, you're shouting, maybe you're shouting across a room, or you yell at somebody if you're angry, things like that. Okay guys, so next on Love English, we'll be looking at a very secret topic. I can't tell you yet because, well, it's a big, big secret. Okay everybody, now what could that one be? It was of course to whisper. If you whisper, you are saying something very quietly in somebody's ear usually, and normally it's because you don't want other people to hear what you're saying, so it's secret. This one, guys, is to mumble. To mumble. If you mumble, you don't speak clearly, you don't speak loudly, and you don't speak clearly. Often students in a class, particularly teenagers, if they don't want to answer the teacher, they might mumble. They might say, I don't know what the answer to that one is. Next one is to mutter. To mutter is actually very similar in meaning to mumble. But people can mutter to themselves. So for example, people might mutter to themselves about things they have to do that day. They might say, well, then I've got to remember to do that, and I've got to get some oil for the car. So number 18 is to debate. And this means to argue about something, but in a more formal way. If you debate something, you look at the different sides of the argument and you present your case for or against something. And often you will go against a particular person or a particular group of people. Okay, number 19 is to dispute something. And this means that you disagree strongly about something. So if you dispute something, you say that something isn't correct. So you might dispute somebody's idea, or you might legally dispute something. For example, if somebody says you damaged their car, you could actually dispute this with the police and say, no, you didn't, and completely disagree. Number 20 is to converse, and this just means to have a conversation. To converse means to talk in a conversational way. Okay, number 21 is the verb to stare. So this verb means to look at something for a long time. So basically, guys, to stare can mean that somebody stares at, for example, a painting in an art gallery. They are enjoying it so much they don't want to take their eyes off it, and so they stare at it. However, I think in most cultures around the world, to stare is considered quite rude if you don't know the person. It can make the other person feel uncomfortable.
And stop staring at me with them big old eyes!
Number 22 is to glance. To glance is just a quick look. So you might say, oh, I had a quick glance at the newspaper, but I couldn't see anything interesting, so I didn't read it. To peek is another quick look, but to peek is often when you are not supposed to look. So if you peek, you might peek through a doorway, for example, and see what's going on in another room where you shouldn't see what is going on. For example, when we're children and our parents are having a party and we're not allowed, we might peek through the doorway to see what they're all doing. To glimpse, again, is a quick look. If you glimpse something, you only see it quickly. So people who are bird watchers or people who like to go and look at nature, they often will only get a glimpse of the animal or the bird that they've been looking for. Just a quick look. Number 25 is the verb to gaze. This is like stare, but it's more with admiration and it's more polite. So if you gaze at something, you're finding it so beautiful that you don't want to stop looking at it. So people can gaze at a beautiful landscape, for example. They can gaze at each other in a loving way if they are a couple who are in love, for example. Number 26 is to squint. To squint, and this is when the sun is in your eye and you can't see very well, so you squint like this. Okay, now we're looking at synonyms for the verb to love. Actually, what's very interesting about English, unlike the Romance languages, is that we don't have very many ways to describe the verb to love. It's a bit worrying what that might say about us as people. So the main synonym of to love is to adore. To adore. And this means that you love that thing so much. If you say to somebody that you adore them, this is very, very strong in English. If we say that we adore a particular food or we adore a particular item of clothing, we love it so much. Okay, moving on to synonyms for the verb to hate. So number 28 is to detest. If you say you detest something, it's even stronger than hate. So you detest it, you really hate it. It's a very strong way to express hate or dislike. The next one is to despise. If you say you despise something or someone, again, you very, very strong way to say that you dislike or you hate something. To loathe. Again, strong feeling of dislike, perhaps not as strong as the other two, but we might say, for example, I loathe getting up so early in the morning. Number 31 is really a synonym of dislike, and it is to shun. To shun. If you shun someone or something, it's like you turn your back to them. So you are rejecting them, you don't want to know them, you don't want to speak to them. So you can shun a member of your family if you've had a big disagreement, for example. Number 32, strong way to communicate dislike is to say you abhor. You abhor something. It's quite a funny word actually, to abhor. So I can give you an example which I have to admit to, and this is that I abhor learning grammar. When I'm learning another language, I really don't like learning grammar. In fact, I abhor it. I much prefer speaking and communicating and learning the grammar. I really don't enjoy it, so I abhor it. I really dislike it. Okay, moving on to synonyms for the verb to think. Number 33 is the verb to ponder. To ponder. And this means to consider something, to wonder as well as another one. So if you're pondering something, you're thinking about it, but not in a rushed way or not in an intense way, in quite a relaxed way, so you can ponder the existence of life. Number 34 is to reckon. To reckon. And to reckon is an informal way really to say you think. So if you say, oh, I reckon it's going to rain tomorrow, or what do you reckon about this? You're asking the person, what do you think? To figure means to think, but also to be working something out, to be trying to understand it. So if you say, I figure it's going to take me 10 minutes to get home, you're saying, I've understood or I've worked out that it's going to take me this long to get home. Next, we have synonyms for the verb to work. So number 36 is the verb to exert. If you exert yourself, you use a lot of energy, you're putting a lot of effort into something. So you could say, I really exerted myself at the gym, I worked very hard. Number 37 is a more old-fashioned word, but you'll still see it in the newspapers and books and things like that. And this is to toil, to toil. Again, this means to work very hard. It has quite a negative connotation, toiling. It's almost like you're working without very much reward. Okay, moving on to a more pleasant topic now, and this is synonyms of the verb to enjoy. So number 38 is to relish, to relish. This means to be excited, to be delighted about this particular thing if you relish something. Number 39 is to savor, to savor. If you savor something, you enjoy it so much that you actually have it slowly and you really enjoy the taste of it or the experience of it. So you take it all in. You don't rush it, you absorb it and make sure that you're making the most of the experience. So if you savor a glass of wine, you'll sip it slowly. You'll smell it, you'll really have the whole experience of having that glass of wine. Number 40 is to bask. And normally we use this with in because normally we bask in something. And this is where we enjoy something so much that we soak up the feeling. So for example, people can bask in the sun. Lizards and snakes and things like that, they typically bask in the sun. They enjoy it so much, they stay so still, getting all the sunlight. I also enjoy basking in the sun. Moving on to synonyms of the verb to annoy. So number 41 is to bother. Very simple synonym of annoy. If somebody is bothering you or something bothers you, you're saying it annoys you. It's something that you don't like. It makes you feel irritable or a bit angry. 42 is to pester. To pester is a strong way to annoy someone. If you pester them, you continue to try to annoy them. You continue to try to get a response from them. So for example, journalists will pester celebrities or pester politicians for an answer or for a reaction. They won't give up easily. Number 43. I absolutely love this expression or this verb which is in this expression, and it is to ruffle, to ruffle. We will often say that we ruffle someone's feathers, and this means that we annoy them. If we ruffle their feathers, we annoy them in a way that we've upset them, and it's like their feathers have been made a mess. If you imagine a bird with its feathers all in a mess, this is exactly what we mean about the person. 44 is to exasperate, to exasperate. And this is where you annoy and you frustrate the person. So if the person is exasperated, they feel really quite frustrated with the situation. Number 45, quite a simple one, this one, and this is just to irritate. So irritate is perhaps not as strong as to annoy. Irritate can just be that something annoys you a little bit. You can also say that something is irritating you, like this new cream I'm using is irritating my skin, it's making my skin red or itchy. Okay, only 5 to go. Now we're looking at synonyms of the verb to touch. So number 46 is to prod. If you prod someone, you poke them quite hard. So you'll prod them. Maybe you're trying to wake them up, or maybe you're trying to annoy them or something like this. But usually it's to get a reaction from them, you prod them. Number 47 is to flick, to flick. So if you flick somebody, it's not a very nice thing to do. But if you get, for example, a fly on your finger or some dust, you can flick it. So to flick. 48 is to pinch. To pinch someone is where you do this with 2 fingers and you pinch them. Not a very nice thing to do if you do it hard. But for example, parents and grandparents might gently pinch a child's cheek. So they'll say, oh, you're cute, or don't be cheeky. For example, they might gently pinch the cheek. Number 49 and number 50, these are lovely synonyms of the verb to hug. So number 49 is to cuddle. We use this particularly in situations where there is tenderness. Okay, it's a sweeter way to say this with perhaps more tenderness.
Just sit here. Yeah. Okay.
The final one, number 50, is to embrace. To embrace is to hug somebody, but it's a more formal way to say that. So if you embrace, it's the same as hugging. But it can also mean to accept something completely. So you could say, I've really embraced my new healthy lifestyle. I've accepted it completely, I'm enjoying it. So this is another way to use the verb embrace. Okay guys, they were our 50 advanced English verbs. Whew, you did very well if you got to the end of this video. That's a lot of new vocabulary. Don't forget to try and use any of these verbs in a sentence below and I will check that for you. As always guys, it's been a pleasure to be with you. See you soon on Love English. Bye bye.
Sữa pha sẵn Friso tiện dụng mới, bổ sung 10 dưỡng chất hỗ trợ đề kháng, cho bé khám phá thiên nhiên ngay từ tuổi đầu tiên.
Nếu như bạn đã rất nỗ lực học tiếng Anh trong nhiều năm qua, nhưng mà bạn vẫn chưa tự tin giao tiếp, thì đó.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to the most inspiring city in the world, London.
Back to San Francisco. Our minds may change.
Today we're gonna talk about learning English on your own. Sitting at home in your own country when nobody speaks English. I'm gonna give you some tips because I've gone through the same process. If you're interested, please continue watching this video. I'm walking around London right now. I'm in Fitzrovia and so many memories come to my mind because I first came here when I was 14 years old. My English was super bad. People did not understand me and everybody thought I was a weird person because I spoke with a really weird accent. And this was the trip that changed my perspective on studying. Because when I came back home after 2 weeks in the UK, I realized that I want to change everything. I want to change my English language learning routine. I want to change the methods that I used and I want to dedicate more time to studying. The first thing I did, I sat down and I realized that now I have a goal. And in anything you do in your life, and I can't underestimate it, and I will repeat it many times for you, you have to have a clear goal. For me, the goal was pretty clear when I came back home from the UK because I realized I want to live here and I want to study here and I want to connect my life with the English language. And I realized that perfect English is a must. It's not something I can fake. It's not something that would be additional. This is something that everybody has here. Everybody speaks perfect English and I want to be understood. I want to speak the same language. I want to be able to understand the jokes. So I set the goal for myself and I told Marina, in 4 years, you're gonna study in the UK. So task number 1 for you would be setting the goal and setting the goal with an exact date. A great thing about learning the language is that you don't have to sit down with a textbook for an hour a day, because once you have the goal, you have to tell yourself how much time you're gonna spend learning English every day. And learning English doesn't mean just doing grammar exercises, and this is why I love languages. Because you can live in English, you can watch TV shows, you can read books, you can text people, you can travel. So at least 1 hour a day, this will be perfect. What I did, I watched Sex and the City in English. I watched The Suits in English. I have an HBO Now subscription that allows me to watch Westworld, Silicon Valley and other TV shows. You can watch YouTubers, you can do whatever you want, but in English, and that would count towards your education. I would also suggest having just 1 textbook, maybe 2 maximum, or having a tutor. Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to those who scored 190. Control your progress, because it's always good to have something to rely on in terms of like plan of topics. Maybe you're doing simple tenses this week, past tenses the next week, future tenses in 2 weeks, and it's good to have somebody to track your progress. When I studied at school, we had Kaplan books, we had opportunity textbooks. Just, you know, any textbook would be good. It's just for you to have a plan that was made by a professional teacher. And if you can afford having a teacher, I would really recommend having a native speaker, and having a native speaker that has accomplished something in their lives. Like for example, we have Anastasia, who has studied in America for 4 years and who speaks 5 different languages, who passed IELTS, who scored 119 on TOEFL. So somebody like Anastasia, so you can not only learn English from her, but also learn how to reach your goals. My next advice would sound a little weird and might sound a little unprofessional, but you have to fall in love. You can fall in love with a person who speaks English. That would be the best. That would motivate you to speak English every day. Or you can fall in love with a TV show. You can fall in love with an app. You can fall in love with a blogger, like, you know. You can choose a blogger that really motivates you, who you want to watch every single day. Because falling in love helps you do something regularly. Like Sex and the City was my favorite TV show. I watched it 6 times in my life because I fell in love with it. Oh, that's another great thing that I want to talk about. When you read a book in English or you watch a TV show, you don't have to know every single word. And if you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna write every new word down, I guarantee you, you will hate this. You will stop watching the movie, you will stop reading the book. Because remember what I told you, you have to be in love and you have to enjoy the process. So, if you see a word for the 7th time and you realize it actually affects your understanding, yes, translate it and write it down. The other words, just look at them and try to figure out their meaning from the context. Because otherwise you will spend all your time just writing words down in the vocabulary. Some people ask me, Marina, do I have to learn pronunciation together with grammar, or maybe I should have basic vocabulary first and then grammar? The answer is you have to learn the pronunciation straight away, because it's gonna be so tough for you to change it later. Remember my story? I came to the UK for the first time speaking like this, like I just came from Russia. Not that bad, but it was something similar. And it was so tough for me to change it, because you feel so weird. Oh my god, especially when you sit down together with like a Russian group. I was back at school with my Russian teacher, Russian students, and you try to mimic British accent, they just kind of laugh at you because you look weird. Everybody speaks with a Russian accent and you try to mimic something else. Good thing you're studying on your own, so you can just talk to yourself in this lovely accent. Or if you have a native speaker teacher, he would never laugh at you because you would actually sound better in terms of like American or British pronunciation. So from day one, start learning the accent, start learning the right way to place your mouth, to place your tongue, to pronounce words like a native speaker. Is somebody still using the phone booths? Ah, it's not even working. Fake! Everything is fake! Oh no! People just use them for photos. Basically, these phone booths are just for you to take pictures. I'm kidding. But this one is not working. You might wonder, which accent should you learn? There is a theory, and I totally agree with it, that Canadian accent is the easiest for you to understand as a non-native speaker and also to learn. But when you come to a particular country, you would need to adjust to their accent. So it really depends on your goals, but I would tell you that before I was upper intermediate, I didn't really get any accents. So when I was in Great Britain, we were standing with my friend and she would tell me, oh, Marina, do you hear that American accent? And there would be like a crowd of Americans near us. And I would tell her, no, wow, I don't get any accents. I maybe started understanding accent maybe after 2 times I came to the UK. So don't really worry about the accent, just worry about the correct pronunciation. And accent will just come, because accent is about intonation, correct pronunciation is about putting your tongue in the right place. So just don't worry. If you're already upper intermediate, then just think, oh, where do I see myself in 3 years? And then learn that accent. I would say American accent is the most popular one because you have all of the TV shows, you have all of the movies. British is the most standard, Canadian is the easiest. I'm not talking about Australian because I think it's the toughest and you only can use it in Australia. Let me give you some resources. Resource number 1, my favorite book so far, it's a study guide, Mastering the American Accent. This is a really useful book that's going to tell you where to put your tongue, how to pronounce words, and it will help you train. Resource number 2, linguatrip.com. It's my company, it's Amazon for languages, and we have everything starting with tutors on Skype, different books that can help you learn English, and you can also book study abroad courses and get admissions help on LinguaTrip. Resource number 3, Fluent.Express. This is a service also designed and developed by my team that helps you correct your written English. So you just upload the text and a native speaker will check it in the real time and you will see your errors. Guys, I wish you were here. Some free books in English. I hope they don't mind that I'm like just looking at them. Oh, this is for taxes. Criminal law. Resource number 4, if you don't have access to hardcover books in English, I would recommend Amazon Kindle, and this is what I use to read books. You get the app, you can get a subscription, I think it's like $14 a month, and you get 1 book every month, and you can also get audiobooks, and this is what I prefer. So resource number 5 is Audible. Audible is an app where you can listen to the books in English language. I would highly recommend the book that I'm reading right now. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***, and it's one of the best books I've read so far. It's about motivation, about not giving up, about working even when things are not looking very good. If you still feel that there are some beginner topics in English that you have missed or you want to repeat, I would really recommend Duolingo app. It's a free app that touches very basic spheres of English, like basic grammar, basic vocabulary, super useful, and the best thing, it's free. The only thing with the apps why I don't really believe in them, when you're online or when you're driving in the bus, you would more likely to open your Messenger or your Facebook. So my another advice would be following groups on Facebook that are in English and that talk about English. Like I have a fan page, Marina Mogilko. Our company has a fan page, LinguaTrip. You can follow other bloggers like Casey Neistat, Gary Vaynerchuk. They have a lot of useful information in English as well. Some other resources. If you want to watch TV shows and movies in English, I would use hbonow.com. I would also use amazon.com if you have Prime membership, which is about $12 a month. You get some movies for free. HBO Now you pay around $14 a month. There is netflix.com, also around $14 a month. And you can just purchase movies on iTunes. I would not recommend any other illegal resources, but you probably know what I mean. What I do right now, I already pay for all of my content. If you want to watch something for free, there is always YouTube. British YouTubers, American YouTubers, just watch them for free. And there is also another life hack. All of the resources that I've mentioned before, HBO, Amazon, Netflix, they have first month for free. So you can use that free trial and then just cancel and you won't be charged anything. And guys, remember, don't be upset if you don't see the progress straight away, because I always think that like learning English at home on your own is like learning to swim in your room. You need to actually be in the swimming pool to experience the joy of swimming. This is the same. You have to be in an English-speaking country to enjoy the actual speaking of the language, the actual usage of the words that you learn and the grammar that you've learned. Because here in the UK, in London, nobody would speak your own language. Well, some people would do, but the majority would not understand you and you will have to use English. And this is the best practice. Have you seen a video of a dog that is right above the water, but there is a person holding it, but it's still trying to swim in the air?
Wow, it's a big day for me today. Các bạn biết không, đã rất nhiều lần mình không thể tin nổi.
This is you learning English at home. It's like basically I tell my students that you cannot learn to swim just lying on the floor in your room. This is the same with the language. You have to travel and practice the language. And right now I am in one of my favorite schools in Greenwich in London. And I love this place because it's the UK, but it's not like London, because London is a big city and Greenwich is like a smaller district in London. But let's see the school and let's see Greenwich. When I came back from London for the first time, I kept telling my friends they have to do the same. And this is basically why I started LinguaTrip, because I wanted more people to travel to English-speaking countries and learn languages. And I was so happy to meet my followers today, because I saw more than 30 people who came to London to study languages, to improve themselves. And guys, this is like this city. You have to come here at least once in your life because it's one of the best cities in the world. I feel so at home here, and I feel that this is the place that inspired me to be who I am. These people, they're so kind, smiling, willing to help. Like this all started here. please, please, please come to London, and this will be your best step, your best experience for your English language, because you're gonna practice it and you can come with any level. You can even be a beginner, because teachers here, they speak really slowly, they help you, they know you're not good at the language, but they're gonna do their best. The best thing I love in London is its smell, because it smells like my childhood dreams, it smells like London, it smells like hopes, it smells like the hopes for your life, and I just love this place. I hope you enjoyed watching me running around London, doing fun stuff, and I hope I inspired you to come here, practice your English, and immerse yourself into culture and explore new things. And who knows, when you come to a new country, when you meet new people, new ideas come to your head, and maybe this will be the first step into your new life. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you're not yet subscribed, there is a subscribe button down below. Watch more videos about English language that are here, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Hey guys, welcome to Lingua Marina. Let's talk about intermediate plateau and why you stop learning English language. This video has been sponsored by italki. Now, let me show you a very important graph. This basically shows what's going on with your English language skill over time.